Parents in Colorado are outraged after they say their 11-year-old daughter was assigned to share a hotel room with a biological male who identifies as a transgender female on an overnight school field trip. So we're learning from local reports that the trip to Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia happened over the summer. Serena Wales is the woman pictured here. She says her daughter was assigned a hotel room with 3 other girls. Her daughter then learned that her bedmate was a boy who identifies as transgender. Her daughter feeling uncomfortable, picking up the phone, calling her mother. Apparently, after a number of discussions, the chaperone of the trip decided that that student was able to move to a different room. Nonetheless, the family still dealing with the the backlash, rather, of this trip.
Mallory Reckenbach is the parent's attorney, and she joins us now. Mallory, I'm a dad of a girl about that age. I can't imagine this type of thing happening. And then as a parent, really having to fight for some common sense. Break all of this down for us from the beginning and tell us what the parents claim happened.
Absolutely. First of all, thanks so much for having me on. What happened here was the Wales' daughter went on a Washington, D.C. trip, a school-sponsored trip, and was told that girls would be staying on one floor and boys would be staying on another floor. Unfortunately, once they were on the trip, it was accidentally discovered that their daughter's bedmate was a boy who identified as a girl. We think that students should have privacy and respect, but that privacy and respect needs to extend equally to all students.
The school's policy on transgender students, reading in part, quote, in the planning of sleeping arrangements during overnight activity and athletic trips, the needs of students who are transgender shall be assessed on a case-by-case basis with the goals of maximizing the students' social integration, providing equal opportunity to participate in overnight activity and athletic trips, ensuring the student's safety and comfort, and minimizing stigmatization of the student. In most cases, students who are transgender should be assigned to share overnight accommodations with other students that share the student's gender identity consistently asserted at school. Any student who is transgender or not, who has a need or desire for increased privacy, regardless of the underlying reason, should be provided with a reasonable accommodation, which may include a private room. Mallory, clearly your clients and this young girl did not feel comfortable, did not feel as though this was reasonable. And what I'm gathering is really felt left in the dark about this whole situation. Is that accurate?
That's exactly right, Emma. Our problem is that policy you just read, which rooms students based on gender identity rather than sex. We don't blame the teachers. We don't blame the school because they were having to deal with this in the moment as well, when all of this could be handled beforehand. So the school needs to inform parents about this policy and give parents an opportunity to either opt out prior to school trips or ask their permission confidentially to place a student who is of the opposite sex identifying as transgender in their room.
Where do you see this going, and what's the next step for it?
Well, like I said, this is an easy fix. Jefferson County Public Schools can just provide an opt-out for students or ask parents beforehand. Transparency is the answer.
Yeah, and it just, and also just giving parents the right to say, hey, look, we want to participate if you're going to change a policy that is this dramatic. We want to have a say, and we want our kids protected and not making all of these special accommodations.
Sure. Mallory, I was reading, it looks as though the school issued a statement to a local news organization. They said it was a private travel organization, therefore maybe there was some confusion there. How does that play into the defense, if at all?
It really doesn't. The school has a private organization that plans the trip, but they send their school-sponsored employees on the trip as chaperones. They are the ones who promote the trip at the school. It is a school-sponsored trip, and therefore all of the constitutional rights that students and parents would have still apply.
Absolutely.
All right.
Mallory Reckenbach, thank you so much for being here.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.